Hi everyone, I just want to apologise for my horrible video card and also my horrible audio, but I just thought I'd show this in case anyone was interested or they may get some help or tips from it. I've basically got a 60 track bus running around the outside of a platform. There's one on the bottom and also one on the top. I'll just give you a quick walk around so you can see what I've done. The man is just going to crash into it here. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too high. Ouch. Okay, so the way this base works is around the outside I have 4 by 15 high tracks. They're conveyor belt Mark 4s all the way around. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And they go the whole way around the outside of the base and join up. That way I can just put stuff on and off the tracks and I can take them on and off wherever I want. What I do is basically, if I want to manufacture something, I set up a splitter which takes it off the track that I want, and then I just use a merger to put it back on, and I can basically just, so here I'm making concrete for instance, so by using one of these splitters, so there's a splitter up here, so there's a splitter up here, takes it off, and I put another splitter where I put my assembler or whatever, and then if I want to expand it at a later stage, I just put another one here with another splitter. So I need a lot of concrete, so I've just made a heap of these, and they just daisy chain off, and here's the mergers that put the final product back onto the bus, and you put it onto the track. Every track carries one type of item. If you end up needing, you find you get a bottleneck and you need more, you basically just can use another track for the same sort of raw material, and you can just build another stack of these somewhere else. So it's very expandable. This base pretty much produces everything. The main thing I've focused on here were the reinforced or encased beams, because you need a lot of them for these version 4 tracks, and I obviously have used a lot of it. So there was a lot of letting the computer run with no one at it for quite a while, just to build them up, because I needed so much of it. So that's basically this part, and I just mount them. Every one of these is a different product around the edge, and they just take stuff off and put it back on, and you can just build more and more inwards. I've just built these tracks on each side just to help me get backwards and forwards to the ends of the base. Now the real smarts in the base, I guess, is at this end. What I've done is here, whenever I got tired of dropping stuff off, so I've just got a storage container here, and I basically can just put whatever I want, everything just in there. It takes it off into these, what are they called? Smart splitters. Each smart splitter runs off and stores it back on the appropriate track. And on the other side over there in the corner, oh yeah, right down the end here, so there's 60 of these here. So I've used a lot of them, but I've still got a heap of spare for when they add more items, or if I need to increase production of a certain item, I can use another track. Anything that doesn't get sorted by the splitter goes into this here. So all my miscellaneous goods, I just drop it all in there, it all just appears here. Anything that doesn't go off onto a designated track. And then on the back here, so obviously these smart splitters put everything up onto there by merging them onto the track. And then every one of these has a splitter that basically goes into these storage containers. So what it does is eventually it fills up the storage container and then it fills up the track. Though it sort of shares it round, because the tracks are joined at the other end, it continuously just adds stuff to the system. So if I need anything, I just get them from here. And there's 60 of these, or 61 if you include the miscellaneous one down the end there. But there's 60 of these. So, and if I need more storage, such as these encased beams, you just put another one on top, and you flip it around the other way. So this pipes into there, and on the back is another one that basically puts it back in, and that sorts it out. It basically makes sure both of them are full, and if you needed another one, you could put another one on top and do the same on both sides. So that way I've got full storage here, full sorting over there. Then what I do is basically, because these are all splitters coming off here, I take the other side of those, of the splitter, and I send them up to the next story. The other side over here, with the smart splitters, they use mergers to put them back on the track. The other side of that merger has another set of conveyors that go up to the top, and I'll show you what goes on up there. So up here, as you can see, these are coming from the storage, those splitters, and they send half the goods up to this level. This is another 4x15 high track, so another 60. It's the same 60 as the other side, but what it does is, and see over that side there, that's where the sorters, they basically they have a merger, so the stuff gets split off down here, comes up onto this level, goes around the edges here, and then goes back down on that side. So this top bus is connected to the bottom bus via those two sides. And what that does is gives me all this space to add more items, or more assemblers and whatever else I've got there. Assemblers and manufacturers and constructors, and the same goes here. So if you need to expand it, you basically just add another one. You just duplicate that, put another one right next to it. You take that splitter into another splitter, into here, another merger, into that merger, and back on there. And you will find that you'll get to a point where you bottleneck, and you just can't get enough along the tracks to the very end one, and at that point you just you make another set basically, and there's plenty of space to do that. Or you use another track if you want to double it up. The other thing is too, all of my raw goods are all on the outside track, or outside set of tracks. That way, oh, I need a new video card so bad. All my raw goods come on, they just go straight on the outside here. So all my mines all come up here and go on this outside set of rows. So it's quite easy. They all go on there, and I've still got heaps spare up the top there in case I want more. They all go around the outside. My power plant's all over there. and that's all fed off one Mark IV track, and it feeds enough power for the whole plant with plenty of spare. The other thing is, if for instance you find that there's gaps on this track up here, then you can always take another mine and just insert it a bit further up and plug the gaps to make sure that your conveyors are always full of raw goods. So yeah, you can insert those at any point you want on the outside to make sure that everything's always full. A few tricks: make sure you build your tracks before you put your splitters and mergers on them. Mainly because you can't put a track above it, so you'll have to delete the merger and then put your track and then put your merger back on or whatever. I've also got I started building in a horrible place. It ended up being there was a big poison thing here in the middle, so I had to build around it, but luckily it doesn't matter because I don't actually use that middle bit of space there. So I'm sure someone can make this a lot more efficient. I've just got 4 sort of ramps up here, which I needed before I built my jetpack. And I've got this vehicle ramp, which then goes up onto a skyway, which sort of goes around the outside of the map. So if I need to get to any point, I can get to that. My space elevator is right in the middle there, and my hub is just near it. And that's about it, but basically it's pretty much ready for any expansion. I've still got plenty of space up here to add more goods. I've got, how many spare? I've got 1, 2, about 12 spare tracks, I guess, for any sort of future expansion that I need. And it's already all plugged in with splitters, with the smart splitters and the storage containers, so you can expand. It's pretty much expandable up to any point. I can add more items, they just go on the tracks. I can add more storage containers on top if I want to do more there. If I need to add more raw materials, I just basically take them and plug them straight into the outside tracks. That's about it, really. It's all fairly simple and straightforward. If you are going to do this, one thing I strongly recommend is building a lot of encased beams. I set up my whole production area, made encased beams. I've broke my whole base down, and I just then put everything I'd broken down into storage containers. I then joined them all together and fed them into this sorter and just left it, and it sorted it all out. Occasionally your storage containers do fill up, and then the whole sorting system stops because this will just get full and nothing can get past it. So you got to keep an eye on that. You just go over to your storage container and throw some stuff in the bin, basically. Just trash it and it'll make space and it all just flows again. I hope they'll fix that at some point. Connecting these together are a right pain. Sometimes you'll try to join them across, because I wanted this compact. Sometimes you want to connect this across here, but it's a real problem. Sometimes they just won't join, and what you have to do is remove the smart splitter. I remove the foundations under it, put the foundations back, put the smart splitter back, and then I was able to connect them. So it's a bit fiddly. It took me quite a bit of time to get this all this compact and joined together. I think 60 is a pretty good number, mainly because I've got one of almost every type of good. I'll throw a spreadsheet up so you can see how I've got it arranged, and I've got some spare for future expansions And if I need more throughput, I just expand out on these. And if I really need to, I can even sort of track these storage containers directly into the space elevator so that they'll fill up automatically. If I need to make something, all these storage containers are right around my hub, so I don't have far to walk. I've got a couple of these jump pads, whatever, so I can get up quickly if I need to. And these tracks get me backwards and forwards. And that's about it. So, yep, apologise for my crappy graphics card and my horrible crackly audio. But if you got this far, I hope you get something out of this anyway. Alright, cheers, bye.